First, let me ask you a question. What are some of the microaggressions you have personally experienced?
我以前會講笑就係話每一次出門口都會預多5分鐘嘅，因為我就預咗嗰5分鐘係俾啲差佬查我身份證㗎。即係我啲 friend 同我行啊嗰啲嘢咧，佢就冇乜嘢啦。咁我一行覺得唔使驚，我 buffer 咗㗎啦，慢慢查啦咁樣。
In the video, Vivek Mabubani, a Hong Kong comedian who speaks Cantonese fluently, talked about the issues he is facing in Hong Kong. We can also feel the determination of Hong Kong's ethnic minorities to integrate into Hong Kong society.
We're trying our best to contribute to this society, and even the locals, they need to realize that they should also take one step forward to accept us and acknowledge us if we're willing to learn their culture, learn their language.
After watching these videos, you may ask, what problems are the ethnic minorities facing? And can we use big data to either better understand or to help solve the Hong Kong ethnic minorities problem? This led us to our topic, race equality for ethnic minorities in Hong Kong. Despite the presence of various ethnic minority communities in Hong Kong since the British colonial era, bias and racial discrimination persist, resulting in their marginalization in terms of employment, education, and access to social goods and services. The figure on the left shows the proportion of ethnic minority population from 2006 to 2016, showing a 70% increase. According to the 2021 census data, ethnic minorities in Hong Kong now total nearly 620,000, comprising 8.4% of the population. Over the past decade, the ethnic minority population in Hong Kong has increased by 37%. Below, I'll briefly introduce the basic education situation of ethnic minorities in Hong Kong through several visual charts. From 2011 to 2021, ethnic minority attendance rates have been increasing overall. Notably, individuals aged 18 to 24 have shown significant improvement, reaching a 50% attendance rate in 2021 when excluding foreign domestic helpers. Regarding educational attainment, ethnic minorities aged above 15 generally have higher education levels than the overall population, but gender differences still exist. Language is also a crucial part of education. In 2016, the proportion of ethnic minorities to read and write Chinese can be as high as over 60%. It is mainly distributed in the 5 to 14, 15 to 24-year-old age group. And here is the statistic of 2021. In 2021, the overall proportion of people who can read Chinese exceeded 74%, with ethnic minorities at 40.8% and 36.4% for reading and writing, respectively. Younger ethnic minorities, excluding foreign domestic helpers, generally had higher Chinese literacy rates. The above statistic shows one of the reasons for ethnic minorities' language barriers. The gathering may indicate that they have not yet fully integrated into mainstream society. Because language is the main way to communicate with employers and demonstrate skills and qualifications effectively, the language barriers perpetuate employment gaps and exclusion. Now, let's turn our attention to the employment situation of ethnic minorities. Although the labor force participation of ethnic minorities was higher than that of the general population when excluding foreign domestic workers, the labor will drastically decrease to 64.5%. It may potentially show persistent stereotypes and racial discrimination in the workplace. And here, we could see the income gap between ethnic minorities and population as a whole. So apart from finding jobs, it seems that it is more difficult for them to find high-paying or high-skilled jobs. An interesting observation is the income gap also exists between different ethnic minority groups. As previously said, ethnic minorities face a lot of obstacles from education and employment. Nowadays, they even still have difficulty in accepting basic goods and services. Now, let's move on to the analysis process. First is the flow mapping analysis. With these demographic data and mobile phone data, and by using Kepler to plot a polygon heights map and flow map, we can present which areas in Hong Kong many ethnic minorities live, study, and work at. Moreover, the traveling distance can also be identified to improve the accessibility of schools and the workplace. Next is the agglomeration and dispersion analysis. This can help to measure the level of segregation. Lastly is the sentiment analysis. This can help to identify how ethnic minorities are seen and treated by the society. The findings can further help with identifying the root causes of the relatively low education rate, the lower employment of ethnic minorities, and the income gap between the ethnic minorities and the locals. So, after identifying the root causes, how can the government use these findings to help better understand or to help solve the Hong Kong ethnic minorities problem? Let's first look at what the government is currently doing. Currently, to address inequality, the Hong Kong government enacted the Race Discrimination Ordinance in 2009, which prohibits discrimination against ethnic minorities and offers a legal framework for their protection. Besides, the Hong Kong government also provided social services for ethnic minorities, like offering free courses for the minorities' children to help them to learn Chinese and Chinese culture, and subsidizing the non-Chinese speaking students with special demand. Additionally, there are also free psychological counseling services online. A survey revealed that participants who received counseling experienced significant reductions in depression and anxiety symptoms, along with improvements in their overall mental health-related quality of life. So, on top of the ordinance and services, using the findings, the government could develop area-specific solutions to improve inclusivity of different ethnic minority groups and accessibility of schools or workplaces. To conclude, we use several kinds of big data, such as economic data, demographic data, and mobile phone data. and found out that discrimination and prejudice still exist, which is hard for them to integrate into the society. To alleviate the problem, we need commitment from the government, employers, and society as a whole. More anti-discrimination laws and regulation, language classes and resources, and continuous data collection are all needed to make a more equitable and inclusive environment for ethnic minorities in Hong Kong.